What's up, YouTube? So this is another one of the channel introduction videos on the last two. Web development, starting your career, breaking down real-life scenarios in web development. And the second one was cooking, nutritional stuff, supplementation, and brain chemistry. The third area of focus on this channel is going to be mixed martial arts. So professional mixed martial arts, amateur mixed martial arts, hobby mixed martial art, or I guess a recreational mixed martial arts, philosophies, breakdowns, event commentary, or not so much commentary, but sort of a fight companion, like live reaction to the fights that are on. This is a great time for mixed martial arts, the best time ever for mixed martial arts. There's great fighters in multiple organizations, and so me and a buddy of mine, several buddies, people that are into MMA are pretty passionate about MMA for the most part. It's different than most sports. It's even different than most combat sports. But a buddy of mine, Caleb, he is he's on the same level of geekiness with this sort of stuff. So we break down the philosophies, the mental stuff of fighters all the time. We talk about different strategies, why they might do things, why their camp decided to do things, why the UFC might, or why certain promotions might portray things a certain way, or there's so many intricacies in it, and most people don't give a shit about that kind of stuff. But if you're nerdy into the sport, that's the kind of stuff that you like. You like the deeper details of things, and a lot of it is anecdotal responses to things, and it's just speculation. Obviously, a lot of things are on podcasts. But we go off on this stuff for hours, and sometimes we can't. We'll have a brief training session. I'll be flow sparring with him, just helping him kind of get used to range and stuff like that. And we'll be planning to leave at a certain time, and we just get stuck talking to each other. And it's not like either one of us are keeping each other there. Like, we just think about MMA and the technical aspects of it so much that when you find someone that's able to kind of go the same amount with you, knowledge-wise, and give you a different look at different things, it's very refreshing, and I think other people experience the same thing when they find MMA podcasts. So among maybe just solo breakdowns that I might do on fights and my opinion of a card, or skill set breakdowns, like different things that I feel like I might understand a little bit as a certain type of athlete, in a certain have a certain mentality about what I'm doing, and I've always loved teaching and breaking physical things down and trying to articulate what I'm thinking about and how it's working in my body while I'm doing something. Maybe the little subtleties that it's kind of like coaching. I obviously haven't had enough experience to be teaching people this stuff, but I feel like there are certain things that I just kind of get naturally and see. I see things and I can replicate it pretty easily, and I can also explain what I'm thinking about and what I'm doing in the moment, as opposed to just saying just watch me. It's just do it. Some people, that's how they teach, is just watch and do it. And I can kind of learn that way because I've always been a very visual learner, but at the same time, everyone's not like that. And I like to describe the technical processes or the technical aspect of my thought process when I'm doing physical things, like boxing, or setting combinations up, or what you're thinking about in there, as opposed to actually doing drills and things of that nature. So more of the esoteric aspect of it. So obviously take that with a grain of salt, because it's probably just me talking shit. But these are the things that we kind of go nerdy about. And I think, and we've both, Caleb and I, have been wanting to start a podcast for a while now, where we kind of capture these giant these long conversations, most of the time alongside full UFC cards, like Joe Rogan's fight companions that he does. They don't really talk about the fights very much. They might acknowledge that a certain fight has changed, but they don't really talk about anything or like say, oh, I think this might happen, or following along with it live. So I'm going to obviously check if there's like stipulation, like rules against that. We're not going to show the UFC. Obviously, you have to watch it live yourself, and there'll probably be a delay, and that's just what you got to deal with. But we actually are going to tend to watch the fights and give commentary on them, and talk shit. Might be a bit of not party, but a bit of a good time, not just like super skill breakdown, like serious stuff. But it might be, during Conor McGregor, Nate Diaz fights, we get a little serious, a little amped up, a little animated. So that's fun to be a part of a lot of times. In the moment, and I think it's great to have some of that stuff on camera, because these are moments that I think about a lot, really famous events, UFC events and boxing events even, that I've been a part of, and had a buddy there that was just as passionate about it that I was, and it would have been cool to have that on camera and to have other people that are into that as well be a part of it, I think. And plus, MMA podcasts are kind of blowing up right now. People's commentary, opinion about what happened in the media, what happened in fights, what happened in the promotion, what happened with trades, what happened with, free agency, and, whatever, everything. The nerdy stuff about MMA, the deep technical stuff about MMA. So it'll be me, or my buddy Caleb, and I will be doing podcasts and fight companions together. We might actually be doing one tonight after this video. It's I can't remember the card number. There's so many, but it's Daniel Cormier and Johnson. It's Cormier versus Johnson. I can't remember, Anthony Johnson, and we plan on watching that tonight. So we'll be watching that, and we'll be doing a live fight companion, hopefully, and it'll be the first one. We'll see how that goes. But so getting into those aspects of it, we might have maybe a playlist or a little bit of a series where we record each other. We record some training, some sparring, some grappling. I'm actually not grappling at the moment because I've got a shoulder injury, shoulder collarbone. Something's going on. It's been like that for a while, and I need to probably get it scanned and looked at by a chiropractor or a shoulder specialist. So I'm trying not to grapple because it's tempting. It's so fun, so easy to just stretch and feel limber. Like, oh yeah, I'm sure everything's good, and then you get put in a Kimura, and they're tweaking the rotator cuff and the scapula and everything that you're just trying to heal, and you're like, why did I think this was a good idea? And I feel like flow sparring, as far as like just doing things with your limbs, not as much as your points, like your elbows and your knees, or takedowns, but kind of distance and movement and working on setting up combinations and things of that nature, and working through it. Flow sparring. Caleb and I do that a lot, and we trust each other, and we have we're similar size and weight, so it's a good workout, and it's good mentally too to do that. Sorry, I got a text. So we're probably gonna do like 1 to 3 podcasts a week. Whether he's gonna be in the presence if he's present with me, or if we're gonna do it like Skype. He'll have to I've been telling him for a minute he needs to get a new computer. He needs to get something that works, something that he can Skype, something that he can start. He can actually load software onto and things like that. But we're gonna do like 1 to 3 podcasts a week. In those podcasts, they might the whole podcast might center on a particular breakdown of a fight, typical skill set breakdown, like certain styles versus other styles, karate versus Muay Thai, karate versus wrestler, boxing versus karate, whatever. Not all karate, but how those styles and kind of ideologies, methodologies of fighting stack up, and how they kind of play into their games. We'll probably focus on certain ones on that, certain ones on just like talking shit about a card that happened over the weekend. We won't obviously be able to do fight opinions on every card, but we're gonna try to do it for sort of the big cards, the ones where you lose your shit when you just can't believe, even though you knew someone had to lose, you just can't believe that they actually lost or how they lost. So it's fun. We won't be doing that for everyone, but we're gonna try to do that for the big, important, fan favorite cards, not just every fight night and even though the fight nights are fucking usually very good. And I might be doing some solo skill breakdown stuff, like hopefully, I don't know how this works with copyright, but being able to use slow motion footage and stop motion stuff to break down fights and certain ways that people do things, certain techniques that I see across multiple combat sports that seem to be effective given a certain situation and all this stuff. But so skill breakdowns I might do by myself, but also do that with Caleb, and matchup analysis and things like that. Sometime I might record myself demonstrating some of the things I'm trying to articulate, like things with reach or things with like using your range and using certain techniques that are good for tall people that are have a sort of a darty, agile. They have agile feet. They're able to move in and out pretty quick, and they like that style. Some people don't. They want to smash, or they want to slam people. And if your brain is thinking that, it's kind of counterintuitive to go against how you might want to do things. I think it's good to be flexible. Some people might be really good, might be better than you at range, even better than you. If your main thing is range and distance, then someone might be better than that at you, and you might have to get good at slamming and smashing in order to beat that style. So it's good to be flexible and dynamic, not so much saying I'm this kind of this kind of athlete and person. I just want to smash things, or I'd rather land the perfect shot and snipe somebody and just end it quick. You might have these ideas about things that might throw off reality and how it actually goes, and lead to a kind of mental lapse as far as your expectations and how you thought it was going to go. So it might get kind of esoteric, kind of philosophical and things like that between Caleb and I at times, but I feel like that's becoming more wanted and desired from communities of people on YouTube, is people who get passionate and detailed and in-depth about anecdotal or objective stuff that's actually happening within specific things, whether it's exercise and conditioning, aspects of martial arts, and mental aspects and mental warfare and stuff like that. There's a lot of things that a lot of people don't think about when it comes to fighting that actually play a huge part in results and how successful people are and how long their careers go and all that stuff, and we want to talk about that. So that'll be probably most of it. But that concludes the MMA mixed martial arts aspect of the channel. Most of it's going to be combined with my buddy Caleb. Probably get introduced to him tonight, but for now, that is the third aspect of the channel. Stay tuned for the fourth and at least to this point, the final other category of the channel in the next video. So thanks for watching, and take it easy.